What's up, guys? It's 8-Bit Eric, and as a Nintendo fan and Switch owner, I've been keeping a close eye on the development of the Switch Online service since it's come out the last couple of years. The service has had its fair share of criticism throughout the years, both warranted and unwarranted, to be completely honest. Mostly because gamers feel that the monthly fee wasn't worth it for the limited selection of games that we had available. In fact, one of the biggest criticisms I hear all the time is that people would rather just have a virtual console back where people could just buy games and own them digitally, which, I remember the Wii Shop days used to be pretty cool, and I used to enjoy some of the WiiWare games and stuff that you would get on there. But recently Nintendo has been making quite a bit of strides to, I guess, make up for it, improve the service, and essentially expand its offerings. Recently they added a number of classic games from the Sega Genesis library, and just the other day, after the Nintendo Direct, we got the Game Boy Advance and Game Boy games, Game Boy Color, with some good offerings like Minish Cap, for example. Who doesn't want Minish Cap? Legend of Zelda. And then on top of that, they had the Splatoon DLCs and the Mario Kart 8 DLCs, the booster pack essentially, which added like a whole fucking plethora of tracks, and I think they're even adding Birdo now. So they've done a lot, but people still feel that they want more, right? And one of the longest standing things is that, okay, we got Nintendo, Super Nintendo, 64, Game Boy, and Game Boy Advance and Genesis. What's the next obvious thing that they should add on to this service? Well, the one thing that's been rumored for quite some time, Nintendo GameCube. And this kind of started to heat up a couple years ago when we had the Super Mario 3D All Stars come out, and it had Mario Galaxy on it, which was a GameCube game. No, Sunshine. I'm so sorry. I'm just thinking forward. Super Mario Sunshine was on there, and it was a GameCube game, right? So people are like, okay, the Switch can handle GameCube games. I hope it can handle GameCube games, and I hope it could, it's actually emulating it kind of on the Mario 3D All Stars game. So now the new rumor floating around now that the Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games are out there is that Nintendo might be bringing games finally from the GameCube the GameCube system to its Switch Online service. This is not a new rumor. This is just coming back up. It's trending again slowly. Now, as a gamer that grew up playing the GameCube, I have a lot of fond memories with it. Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, Star Fox Adventures, Paper Mario. I mean, there's a huge selection of games there. So this would be exciting news. If we can get GameCube games as part of the Switch Online service, I'm all for it. Again, the GameCube had some pretty classic games, some of the best actually in some of the franchises. And I'm sure many Switch owners out there would love being able to see some of these titles available to play on their consoles. Now, sure, there's the retro elitist, the people that are like, oh, just play on the original hardware and blah, blah, blah. Well, with the rise of like retro gaming going up and skyrocketing like as big as it has, it's not easy to collect for the GameCube. In fact, some of these games are going for hundreds of dollars on the GameCube. I mean, a Paper Mario game alone, Thousand Year Door, is super fucking expensive. like, good luck if you don't have it now. You're gonna pay like $100 or more just to get a complete copy of what essentially is a great game. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there. I see it all the time in my Switch streams or my live streams where people are like, dude, I don't want you to I don't want to have like a service. I don't believe in subscribing to a service like Game Pass or Switch Online or anything like that. I want to own the game. I want to blah blah blah. And yeah, but to me, you have to pay to have access for the Switch anyway, right? To use the internet features to play Mario Kart, to play Splatoon, to play any game that connects online on the Switch. You have to pay for the service. The games I look as an extra bonus, like a perk. It's something that you get in addition to what you're already buying. Kind of like with PlayStation Plus, they give you the monthly games as an incentive to keep your membership going. You got to separate it as you're not subscribing for the games. You're subscribing for the right to have internet access, just like you pay a cable company or you pay an internet provider to give you access to the ability to use online. So you're paying Switch Online service for the online capability because you can't play online without it. I don't know why people get so caught up in, yeah, I don't want a service from a game. No, okay. There's not going to be a virtual console. They've changed the format on that. It's much more beneficial for Nintendo to have a library of classic games readily available. So, tangent over on that. Now, continuing on, the thing that would be cool about having GameCube is think about like Super Smash Brothers Melee being brought onto there and having online capabilities with that. Smash is one of the biggest games of all time for Nintendo, and Smash Brothers Ultimate is still a big deal. But the Melee version is a game that is still used in tournaments. People still use the GameCube controller. If you had the Switch Online service with Super Smash Brothers Melee, that could be kind of fun. Add, the internet features, kind of like what they did with GoldenEye. They just added GoldenEye on there with online features. Come on. On top of that, also, Wind Waker HD. They just had Wind Waker HD come out on the Wii U a couple years ago. Believe it's going to get ported over to Switch eventually, right? But what if we got the original? What if we got the original, Star Fox Adventures or Star Fox Assault? There's so many games that I definitely would like to do. I'm a Zelda guy, so Zelda, Paper Mario, and Smash Brothers are three games that I personally would love to see on the Switch service. And I'm sure there's other games out there that are pipe dreams, but we all know licensing issues. For example, like Resident Evil 4 would be a good one. The Mario Party games would be great. They have the Nintendo 64 versions. But maybe a Metroid Prime. I don't know, though, because they just did the Metroid Prime remaster. So maybe that takes Metroid Prime out of the equation of being a game that's on the Switch Online service. Now, honestly, nothing has been officially announced yet. This is all still just speculation from somebody that's a Nintendo fan. I know a lot of you guys have been speculating, but they finally got the Game Boy stuff out of the way that we've been talking about for like 2 years. So the idea of GameCube games coming to the Switch Online service is exciting, and it's not outside the realm of possibility. I just think they're trying to work out the bugs or kinks or save it for, maybe like E3 announcements or something like that. By adding on to the service, the GameCube, Game Boy, all these things, Genesis, all that, I think it's a way of Nintendo showing their fans that they're listening to them and they want to improve the service. But I would like more DLCs for like games, like standalone games, like maybe an added expansion for Tears of the Kingdom. Think about that. I can't wait to see what the future holds for Switch Online and what other games might be added. What are you guys' thoughts? What would you like to see from the GameCube? Love to hear your thoughts down below because it's such a classic console. A lot of people are very excited about the possibility of playing some of those games. Man, just think about Paper Mario. I haven't played that on the GameCube in forever. I'm excited.